How did we miscalculate by that much?
We measured the holes.
We realized we made a mistake.
Yo! Bro!
It's like where to begin, you know? Once upon a time, I was sitting in traffic and slid underneath a BMW. And from there, didn't know what to do for a while. You guys might have seen the last Miata video where we kind of pitched the game plan of making the bash bar for the Miata.
We tried to find fabricators to fabricate the bash bar / new front end that Sam had designed in SolidWorks. Most of the people that I spoke to told me it's gonna be incredibly expensive to fabricate. You know, most fabricators, you send them one part, you ask for 100 of them. Probably wouldn't be worth their time, and it would be really expensive for us. So we said, fuck it. We bought ourselves a welder. We put this together last weekend. We went to the Industrial Metal Supply Company right over here in Burbank, and we got 1 3/4 Dom tubing with 0.95 wall, and we also got some sheet metal, so we'll use the sheet metal to make connecting plates here and then create tubing that would come out and create the first level of the bash bars. And we got smaller walled tubing that's actually coming from San Diego for this entire portion here, this portion that will build up off of the bash bar that will support the bumper in the future. So the actual Miata bumper will mount to that new tubing that we'll place up here once we cut all this out. So that's the game plan. Hopefully nothing explodes in our face, melts off. Hopefully we don't break anything while we're welding and cutting, and we'll see how it goes. Andy, would you draft me on your Ford 19? Yeah, I could do that. Ow. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be, bro.
We needed a flat surface to mount our pucks to that were essentially gonna be what we built the bash bar off of that would eventually support the entire subframe. And on the front of the Miata, once you remove the plastic stock bumper, there's like these like knuckles on the front. So we cut those off. I cut them off with our new angle grinder.
Here we go.
Oh shit. Are you just gonna? Cool, let's grind it down.
Buff that down.
There was a little bit of excess, so Sam had the really good idea of making like 4 slits in the corners and we could just hammer them down.
It's like you smacked it a little hard here. We have a little dent now.
Come on. No, that was it was already done like that.
And then we started making our mounting plate. And Sam had a great idea. He was like, what if we box this? Because then we can bolt it in from the front, from the top and bottom. It was gonna be beautiful.
4 bolts, 2 bolts there. It'd be a lot of strength. That way you could literally lift the entire car, like literally from the bar.
That's a great idea. So what we're thinking is bend, flat, bend on the bottom, and bolt into all 8 points. This will be like impenetrable.
1 hour later.
All right, so I went to Harbor Freight. Spent way too long there, but we got this 18-inch bending brake, which basically will allow us to cut a sheet out of this metal and then and then bend angles into it. So this is the template that Sam made. So our final metal piece will look something like this. Our metal piece should fit on just like this. So what we'll do now is we'll cut out a long sheet. Always cut a little bit of extra metal so that we can cut back if we need it. It's better to have more than have less. And then once we have the sheet, we'll put them through our bending brake, bend in those angles that we're gonna need, slap them on the front of the Miata.
And do it twice.
Do it 2 times.
So this is our. That's
our-
the middle
our-
of the bend, or is
yeah,
that the
middle of the bend?
Okay, here you wanna go. You ready?
Hold on. Let me get.
Oh, fuck yeah, guys.
Whoa!
That is money.
Feels like you should be wearing eye protection.
You want a test fit?
Yeah.
A little too big?
A little too.
That's fine. That's okay.
We'd rather have that because we can just shave down.
Let's shave it down. Let's do it.
Fuck yeah! All right, let's get our bottom going then.
This is legit.
Yeah.
We're actually doing this. It's at 90 degrees.
That's nice.
Not exactly
it's a little
90.
over.
Okay, so we want to mark this.
Good
now.
job, guys. That one looks really good. I'm proud of you
So
guys.
me?
Take 3. Scene 1, take 3. Ben, clap.
All right.
Bro, hold on.
Here's our template. Template and the
Pretty
real
fucking
thing.
close. Oh, it's too tall.
How did we miscalculate by that much?
Because cardboard is a 1/4 inch thick, and on each side 1/4 inch is a 1/2 inch. That's probably about that is.
Okay.
Because of the
our bend
rounding
has
on
to start
top.
like here, and it has to bend up onto it.
Okay, let's try it.
3, 2, 1. It's just been fucking perfect. I think that was literally as perfect as it could have been. That one's bottom pretty nice. Maybe I'll just do the top again. 3, 2, 1.
We bent the pieces, and there's a little bit too much extra fat on the end of this one, so I'm just gonna grind out that little bit of extra fat real quick. Boom! All the fat's gone. Now we're gonna make sure it sits flush on both sides. Incredibly flush.
We measured the holes, or we just marked the holes for this, so we're gonna now drill a small hole and drill a big hole.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we just came back from our mid-afternoon snack / get out of the sun for a hot second, because it's been hot out here. And we got some plates on the front of the Miata here now. So basically, we've created the 2 mounting points for the bash bar. So now we're gonna take our massive Dom tubing and create a center point on these plates, and then create a small bar with our Dom tubing to reach out to the bash bar, weld that onto the plate, and hopefully get the bash bar on all tacked together by the end of the day. That's the game plan. So we're designing this piece here that's gonna branch off of the plate, right? Basically, we cut these pieces of tube off of our big tube, and we had planned to weld these here. But we realized it's impossible. We don't have any way to hold this onto our tube notcher here to make these cuts. So we realized we made a mistake, and instead we ran the long tube right here through the notcher, notched the edges first, and then we would simply take the sawzall through that end of the tube, slide the tube down, and repeat the process. So now they need a little bit of cleaning up, but we have 2 notched pieces of tube to weld onto our plates. We're gonna clean these up and try to tack them onto these plates. That means we're welding, baby. We're doing it.
The next day.
Well, good morning. It's Sunday morning. Happy Sunday to you. Yesterday, we did not get as far as we thought we would. We basically spent the whole evening welding. Sam and I, we just practiced going back and forth, and both of them welded for the first time, so that was dope to be a part of. But we've figured out some settings on the welder that we like, and we've got our plates for the front of the bash bar set up, and our first piece of tubing. So this is our very first fabricated part ever. It's pretty exciting. It's also kind of stressful, but we practiced this morning too, and I think we're gonna make it happen. So we're gonna tack this down, remove the magnets, and then run a nice bead all the way around it. Here we go.
Nice. Make sure it's pretty solid. Cool.
Let's fucking go! Done.
Good job, dude.
Woo! Alright, so these are the finished pieces. Yeah, so now we're gonna bolt them onto the front of the car from those same bolting points we created these plates for, and then create the bar that runs across here. It's just wild that this is happening. Yeah.
And then we got our pipe bender out, and we got a good bend in one side of the bash bar.
There we go.
Damn, bro.
Oh, yo.
Yo.
Bro.
Fuck yeah, homie.
Dude, is that the angle we want?
Is that the angle? I think so.
I think that's it. How do we do that?
I have no idea. It in there?
Okay.
All right, so here's our first angle. And here's our test fit. We just put this on, and look at how fucking good that looks. Like that, if we cut this right here, we're golden.
Dude, the bumper is definitely gonna fit on this
We
thing.
kind of want the angle to sit right in line with that knuckle, so like one shot wonder. I get. We literally just went for it. Pressing.
It is 45 on the fucking dot.
All right, so we got both bends on both sides. We test fitted it. And now basically what we're cutting is from the bend, we're giving it 6 inches. That's our cut point. That's what we think from the SolidWorks drawing that Sam did. And just from the test fit we just did now, we think that 6 inches past the bend will allow us to fit the bumper well. So we're gonna run the Sawzall through it. Next, I'm gonna lay it like so. Yo.
Honestly, I think that's okay to tack.
So the end of the second day, the homies had to leave, and at the very end of the second day, I tacked on the bash bar to the puck. So at the end of the day, and the second day of fabrication, we had a bash bar on a Miata. A bash bar that could fit a bumper, which we don't think exists anywhere, so that's pretty dope. Turned out I did have COVID. And then Sam said, "Are you ready to cut some stuff?" Like and subscribe. You made it this far. You might as well do it. We'll see you on the next video.